Hello guys, welcome to the 3D market commentary. My name is Becky. Sorry, my camera was having some trouble today, so I'm not visually here, but I'm audio-y here. You can still hear me, hopefully. My name's Becky. My email address is becky@tradictive.com, and that's me there as well. And you've got support@tradictive.com, which is an email you can send things to if you have any questions. So that's those. Let's just make sure as well that we cover the disclaimers. Those are on the top left-hand side there. Of course, important for you guys to read for legal reasons and also to understand that these kind of videos are purely demonstrations. So 3D market commentary is an email that we send out every day. We send out a news flash every day that's got information on 5 of the major world markets out there and on 3 major elements, hence why we call it a 3D market commentary. So let me just show you that, but before I do, I'm going to have to come out of here. So here we go. Before I do, I'm going to have to take you here, which is tradewithufos.com/Becky. And at the top here, you can get yourself a free Trade with UFOs membership. Once you then have that, you can come and ask questions in this area. So if you do have questions based on anything that we cover today, I'd prefer it that you come here to ask the questions, because that's where the question will be in public and so too will the answer be. So other people can learn from those questions. So ideally, that's where you'd come to ask them. So like we said, we have our 3D market commentary. We look at 3 major elements of 5 major markets. So we call it a 3D approach. So the first thing we look at is market climate, upcoming market direction. Where do we have probabilities, up or down, and therefore do we buy or sell? Now we use an app to help us with this. So we have an app here. It's called AutoClimate. This is a free app on most platforms that you can get it on. And with AutoClimate, we're looking at the dots here. So ignore the lines, we're looking at the dots. If we have a thick red dot, that tells us probability is to the downside. We should probably sell. If it's a thick blue dot, that tells us probability is to the upside. We should probably buy. And then if we have a thin dot of either colour, like this one or this one, that tells us not enough probabilities either way, do nothing. So we are using an app to help us figure out where's the upcoming market direction and therefore what we do with it. Then we have buy and sell UFOs, unfilled orders, buyers and sellers basically. We want to know where we have buyers and where we have sellers. The buyers are shown to us by these green UFOs, and it tells us the pricing on the right hand side between which areas we have buyers. We also have sell orders in the red UFOs, and again which show us on the right hand side the pricing between which we have sell orders. Now why is that important? Well, if we want to buy, we want to buy with loads of other buyers because they're more likely to push the price up. If we want to sell, then we want to sell with loads of other sellers, more likely to push the price down. So we use an app to show us where they are so we know specifically where to buy and sell. Then we want to know market volatility. How quickly will these markets move up or down within given periods of time? So we'll look at that per market. Now each of the markets we're looking at is on a daily chart. So of course different things happen on different time frames, but this will be relevant to a daily chart. And we're starting with the S&P 500, which is the top 500 US stocks. We're actually looking at the ES, which is the futures contract for that. So for those of you that don't know what futures are, essentially right now we are looking at a representation of US stocks. Now we see from this that we have a confirmed upwards climate, a thick blue dot there, probability to the upside. However, the market usually goes up for 8.82 candles. Now let's round that up to 9. So usually goes up for 9 candles, and we're on candle number 13. So we have gone past what's usual in terms of a move to the upside. Still probability up, it's just that we have surpassed a usual move upwards. So we're lacking a little bit of probability there. In terms of buy and sell UFOs, we have buy orders here at 44.40.50 to 43.47.75, and we would expect if price were to hit them that they would go up from there. But obviously little bit distance between current price and those buy orders for now. So for the time being, overall probability up, although not as much probability as we'd like based on it being slightly overextended, but overall probability still slightly to the upside. Now with market volatility, we expect in 1 year that the S&P would move up or down by 18.92%, which means in a day it would move up or down of 53.65 points. In a week it would be 118.09 points up or down, and in a month 245.83 points up or down. So that's the S&P. Now the next market is going to be crude oil. In the meantime, it says there about educating yourself. Now, we offer loads of different courses in futures, stocks, forex, backtesting, trading plans, psychology. Most of them come with a 3-month complimentary access to the apps. Now, AutoClimate, this one, is usually a free app. On most platforms you can get it on anyway, but AutoUFOs are a paid for app. It's a subscription. Depending on which platform you use, it depends on what the price would be. So most of the time it actually works out cheaper to get a course and get 3 months complimentary access to the apps than it would be to simply subscribe to the AutoUFOs by themselves for 3 months. So check that out depending on what you need, but you can subscribe directly to the AutoUFOs if you want to. No need to do a course if you don't want to. Okay, so with crude oil, we have an unconfirmed climate. Kind of hard to see, but it's a thin dot there. Unconfirmed climate, which means not enough probability either way. We would change time frame or change market. No point trading something where we don't have at least some form of probabilities. We're also far away from orders. We have sell orders up here at 74.23 to 72.93. We have buy orders down here at 60.77 to 58.73. They already worked a little while back to push price up. That's why we want to know where they are, so we know where to buy. But we're still quite away from it at the moment. So not close enough to either stacks of orders to see much change soon, and unconfirmed in terms of the climate. So no real direction given statistically at the moment with oil. Now, in terms of volatility, we'd expect in 1 year that oil would move up or down by 31.91%, which means in a day, up or down of 1.4 points, in a week, up or down of 3.07 points, and in a month, up or down of 6.4 points. So that's what we'd expect with oil. Now, next market is gold. So there we go. Now with gold, obviously it says down here at the bottom, need coaching and support. So you can subscribe to a coaching or closed coaching community. It's a small monthly fee to get access to more of our time in a closed environment. But we also do a whole bunch of support and coaching for free on YouTube and Facebook and things like that. So you can join us there. Okay, so with gold, we have a confirmed downwards climate, thick red dot there, probability down. Usually, gold would go down for 7 candles, just rounding that up. We're on candle number 2. So that tells us that we're at the start of what would be a usual move to the downside. And we have sell orders here at 1866 to 1804.4, and they've started to push price down a little bit. We've come out of those. We have buy orders down here at 1759.6 to 1742.6. So overall, probability downwards. We've got the climate pointing to the downside. We're at the start of what would be a usual move to the downside, and we're closer to sell orders than we are to buy orders. So all kind of indications to the downside. Now notice I'm using words like probability and statistics and things like that. This is not to say that this is definitely going to happen. We don't have any guarantees in anything, let alone the market. So we still would manage our risk in case we're wrong. We still might layer more things on top of this to add probabilities, and everybody's got different ways of doing that. But for us, we at least want to know where some of the probabilities lie before we even start. So that's why we use these apps to help us with this. Okay, so in terms of volatility for gold, we'd expect yearly movement of up or down 15.14%, which is in a day up or down of 17.14 points, in a week 37.74 points up or down, and in a month 78.56 points up or down. So that's gold. Next market is the US dollar. Now the US dollar is responsible for about 80% of transactions daily, so whether you trade it or not, be aware of it. Now with the US dollar, it's actually just gone to an unconfirmed climate. So it must have been confirmed just this morning, but it's just gone to unconfirmed. It's a thin dot. So actually this should be no, it's not confirmed. That means we don't have enough probability either way. Now that's not really surprising considering we've seen price kind of bounce around a little bit recently. So it's not quite sure where the probabilities lie, and it only just this morning become undecided. Now we do have buy orders here, 92.31 to 91.800. We also have sell orders here, 93.750 to 93.455. We're kind of closer to the buy orders, but perhaps we might not hit them today. Overall, bit of indecision here with the dollar. Now, in terms of market volatility, we'd expect the dollar to go up or down in 1 year of 5.33%, which is 0.31 points in a day, up or down. 0.68 points up or down in a week, 1.42 points up or down in a month. Okay, so next market and final market is backed Bitcoin. In the meantime, it says they're about interested but have questions. You can self-schedule a clarification call with us, speak to one of our experts and figure out what's going to be more useful for you, if anything, whether that's memberships, apps, coaching, courses, whatever. Okay, so back to Bitcoin. We have a confirmed downwards climate, a thick red dot there, probability to the downside. Now we have buy orders here at 41,460 to 37,437.5. We have sell orders up here of 57,975 to 54,500. Slightly closer to the buy orders, but still got room to drop to them. So overall probability down here with Bitcoin. In terms of volatility, we'd expect movement up or down in a year of 91.5%, which means in a day, up or down of 2,649.26 points. In a week, 5,832.07 points up or down. And in 1 month, up or down of 12,140.43 points. So that's Bitcoin. Overall probability down for the time being. So let me just come here and we'll round up with our weekly economic calendar. So we go to fxstreet.com, have a look at their economic calendar, and we filter by high impact news on most major world markets. So today being Thursday, we had some news that came out on the euro this morning and still to come out that could affect the euro. And then we have Canadian dollar news coming out in a few hours. So if you trade those markets, those currencies or stocks within those countries, be aware of that, as we might see a bit more volatility based on the news. If you have any questions, of course, you can email me if you'd like, or you can go to tradewithufos.com/Becky, get yourself a free Trade with UFOs membership at the top there, and then you can come down and get yourself, or ask questions in this space so that other people can see the questions, other people can see the answers, and we all learn together from this area. Okay guys, so I will be back tomorrow for the market commentary and for a stock session, so I'll see you guys then. Any questions, of course, reach out to us in whatever way you feel comfortable, and I will see you guys soon. Have a great